Hello and welcome to Crappy Hour Live. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben. Hello, Ben.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome. We are
Welcome.
live.
We are live. We are
Yeah,
live.
this is your Instagram live show. You're on it. What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
technically it's now a YouTube show, and
Oh.
the green screen is not up today. If you want to see it, wait, let me rotate. Oh, it's actually really not up at all. I can't even rotate it for you. No, I'm going for an au naturel set of just good old fashioned blinds,
Some gauzy curtains.
gauzy curtains. Let's see,
Gauzy curtains.
gauzy curtains in the evening.
I am back here after escaping death. Dun,
Oh my
dun,
God.
dun.
I'm so glad you're alive.
I almost died.
You
It
did.
was actually the other day. It was Saturday. I was riding my Vespa around. I know everybody in the audience is like, damn it, I know I told him not to ride that Vespa or he'd die. No, I'm like totally fine riding the Vespa. For the most part, I rode on Laurel Canyon on a Saturday night, which is crazy. There's drunks everywhere. It's like, if you're going to die, that's when to do it. Got back over the hill over here to the Val. Well, this house is up a very, very steep hill. Okay. And so I kind of took the turn I took the turn wrong. And so I had to stop the Vespa. So I stopped it, not realizing on a very steep incline, that shit is heavy. That is a zillion pounds. I don't know how many.
It's a vehicle.
It's a vehicle.
You have to get authority from the government to put your butt on it.
So I was standing on a very steep incline with a vehicle and stopped it. Normally you have to gun it. You have to be like, I'm on the hill, and you got to be like, and then you gun it up, and then you make it, and you feel like a superstar. But I missed it. And so I stopped the Vespa, and it started tipping over, and I was like, no, because I could not. Listen, I have no arm strength. I look like a sleeping bag thrown over a folding chair. That's my new body type. There is nothing there. I can barely get out of bed.
I was thinking beanbag. Wow.
I have to roll out of bed, man. I can't even lift myself off of the bed these days. I have no strength. So look, I don't hold the microphone. It's in a stand. I don't hold it. Look at this Topo Chico.
That's
look.
common practice.
Oh, geez.
I would love it. By the way, I would love a Topo Chico right now, I have to say.
We should have a box by your thing like me, because guess what? It's hard to lift them from the kitchen. So I'm coming up. It slowly starts to fall on me. I can't do anything because I have no strength. I fall. I'm crushed under this fucking thing. I'm Ryan Reynolds in that movie where he got stuck in a hole or whatever, and there was no one to come save him.
Buried alive. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have people around me. They're not going to save me. What are they fucking, they hate me. All I do is make noise over here. All they do here is hammering and drilling. They're glad I'm dead, So I'm like, I'm going to die here. I literally was like, I'm just going to go to bed, because not only did it fall over on me, it dragged me down the hill. You know what I mean?
It's like a metal comforter. It's good. You should go to bed. Like, it's cozy.
So I dragged down the hill. I was like, oh, God, no. It was like a very slow tragedy. And then finally I was like, you can't die here. Ben will make fun of you for the rest of eternity. You can't die pinned under a fucking Vespa. So
the valley.
In the valley, Ben.
I mean, if you're gonna do it on this side of the hills, but don't. You can either die in the valley or you can die under a Vespa, but you can't do both. I will not allow
one
it.
free leg, and I said, you know what? I may not have arm strength, but I've got leg strength, and I pushed with my leg. I went and screamed a lot until I could at least get it up enough to get my crushed leg. So I'm alive, we're here to tell the tale. Wasn't that a fascinating one? So anyway, am I giving up the Vespa? No, I'm going to fix that light. If I give up anything, it's going to be this goddamn house. I'm moving back to my old rent-controlled little apartment in West Hollywood, where everything's flat. Everything's one tiny little room. I don't have to worry about any of this shit. No construction, no crashing Vespas into driveways because they're too steep. None of this bullshit.
Yeah, no, you don't want any of that. You want flat. The thing is this, no house is perfect. And you have an amazing new spot, and there's always going to be a downside, and the downside is you have a driveway that is like K2, and you know what? You'll figure it out. You'll figure out a process.
Well, thanks for the support.
Wait, Robin.
Guess what?
Robin in the chat says, "Imagine this all happened in the background of the Valley filming. Like, could you imagine they're shooting a scene and like you come tumbling down the hill onto your Vespa?" Kristen's like, "Seriously, I'm engaged. It's a very important announcement I want to make to the collective hello, members of the Valley." It's like, boom,
yeah, it's
tumbling down the hill. Well, I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad, to quote Karen Huger, the injuries are not life-threatening, just ankles and ribs. I love Karen Huger saying the injuries are not life-threatening, a month after her DUI, and she's like in glam, "Don't worry, everyone, my injuries are not life-threatening." I'm like, yeah, we can figure that out. We see. You have
I forgot she said that. Just ankles and ribs. Just ankles and ribs.
Ankles and ribs. Ankles and ribs.
Well, guess what? No one is here to hear about me almost killing myself by making stupid decisions. Let's get on to some Bravo news, shall we?
News.
Kind of a lot happened. I mean, nothing. That's why I told the motorcycle story, guys. There's not a ton in the news. But what do you want to start with? Because the stuff that happened was pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? I want to talk about something that we talked about on Jeff Lewis a little bit, because people keep asking me about it and it's coming up. So it'd be fun to weigh in on the whole Joel Kim Booster and Shannon Bedore situation that happened on the set of their show that they're filming for Bravo.
Okay, let's do it.
So basically, the long and the short of it is that Joel Kim Booster is hosting this. We've talked about this show that's it's going to be like single ladies on Bravo. So like Giselle, Countess Luann, Shannon, and I think Ashley, and they're looking for love. And Joel Kim Booster is the host of the show. And I guess there was like a rap party, and he went off on Shannon Bedore on his live. Samantha Bush, a luminary in our Bravo content creator universe, posted this. It said, "I had no idea Joel Kim Booster was hosting Housewife Hotel or whatever it's called. He just went live and cooked Shannon Bedore. Like he roasted her, chopped her up, served her for breakfast. Oh, well, I mean, and I hope he served a low-cal sauce with me as long as he's eating me, because I would prefer not to have any butter or sugar involved in the roast."
Well, I may make someone angry, but I would never want to make someone fat. So I hope
Well, the good news is I am real for real. So if you do roast me and make me for breakfast, you will have a low calorie load. So enjoy that, Joel Kim.
Yeah. So he really went off. The Bravo world was going crazy. So here is one of his posts. This is on Insta. And it says, "Just because you're a pathetic drunk on a reality television show best known for a string of failed relationships and a DUI does not make you a star and does not give you license to treat the people you work with like they are subhuman. Period. They will make me delete this, but DM me if you'd like to see some videos. Besos." So that was his first one. First of all, she is a star, sir.
She is a star.
And she is mostly a star because she is a drunk, crazy person with a string of failed relationships. I'm sorry that you don't like the fact that that has made her a star, but it has. So the fact that you're even arguing with that puts you on shaky ground for me. This whole thing puts you on shaky ground.
My favorite trend is when people make grand proclamations about our Bravo celebrities or Bravo shows as if they are breaking news to us. Like Bethany, like the Vanity Fair article that says, guys, they drink on Bravo. Some of them even do cocaine. And now this, Shannon Bedore is a monster. I mean, what show have you been watching for the past 10 years? Of course she is. She's our wonderful, neurotic, open wound of a monster. She made David Bedore stick his finger non-sexually up her butt to scan for plastic.
No, he ended up healing her. You always get this wrong. David actually put his finger up her butthole to clear her of psychological debris, and it actually worked and made her better. Don't you remember? He got it.
Either way,
it was like the most romantic thing in that story.
She made Jenna last season take like a butt enema on like it was like a colonic, at home colonic on camera, and Jen's probably like, well, I'm a newbie, I guess I have to do this. Shannon has a storied history. She calls her all of her friends late at night drunk and terrorizes them with stories of her woes.
Well, not only that, we've seen Shannon for years on the show telling off production and getting so pissed off and trying to shut down cameras. I mean, how many scenes are of Shannon going, "You are not filming the trying to take off her mic and just losing her shit and screaming at the cameras." And now we've seen that, but we've also seen that they fuck with her constantly on this show and try to get her to break down on purpose. You know what I mean? Like this whole Alexis storyline, first of all. I mean, that's just one in a long string. And she just fucking loses her mind. Now, does that excuse her for being a monster on the set? No, of course not. And if that happened, if he had posted something that was like, yeah, worked with Shannon Bedore, she was a freaking nightmare, don't ever meet your heroes, or something like that. But that he said, I mean, there's more to this that we'll get into, but he said something like, I went up to her. He said something like, I went up to her at the finale party, at the shooting, the wrap party, and I told her off. And I'm like, wow, good for you. Like, who thinks that that's great? Like, who thinks that it's like great to go tell off, like a man going off to like curse out an older woman? Like, there's better ways to do it. Get a podcast. You know what I mean?
I also feel like as a gay man, one of my favorite things is when a lady of a certain age acts horrifically. I don't know what it is. It's just some strange thing I have. Anytime anyone anytime a Real Housewife has ever been mean to me, which really hasn't actually ever happened. Now that I think about it, as no one's really been mean, but I've had some frosty encounters here and there. And rather than saying like, "Wow, she was so cold," I think, "Wow, I am honored. I am honored that I got to witness that. Like, how special." Like, I think that like if you were to, for instance, if you were to be in a restaurant, if you were waiting on Patti LuPone, Ronnie, and Patti LuPone was just being a nightmare, would you say, you know what, fuck Patti LuPone, she's a nightmare? Or would you say, ugh, I feel blessed. I was given the joy of watching Patti LuPone be a nightmare.
If Patti LuPone went off on me, I would take out my phone and start recording it, because that's the thing that she hates most is people recording on their. She hates cell phones, and so I would just fuck with her that way. I'd be like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! Could you yell at me again, but do it right into the camera?" Because that would just enrage her more. You know. Yeah, I mean, play with it. But anyway, Shannon was like, I don't know what this guy was talking about. They asked her to show, and of course, Shannon is such a Shannon answer. Well, I was shocked. I was just so shocked because during the show, he was so lovely, and he said, "You're so lovely," and he came up to me and said, "You're so lovely." So she was very shocked by the whole thing. So
I had comped him tickets to Vicky and Shannon live, and he was going to come to our show in Omaha, and it was I thought we were friends, but apparently not.
So did he not go tell her off to her face? Was that all in his head? Did he? Was that one of those things where you're like, let me tell you what like my mom does this, where she's like, Eddie, my dad, I was at this restaurant today, and they gave me my food after everybody else. And I called that manager over and I said, "You listen here. No one treats me like this in a restaurant, and I will get my food. And those people have had their food much longer than me." Well, I heard one of these stories. She was talking about a meal I was at with her. And I saw this interaction, and here's what she did. She said, "Did those people get their food before us?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, and she looked around, and I said, "You're not calling the manager." And that was it. That was the entire thing. But in her mind, it became this like, I told them off, and I'm taking this to social, which I don't know if I told you, but that's like her most recent thing, where she gets mad at somebody and she says, "I'm taking this to social. I have a Twitter, and I'm going to let people, I'm going to tell people." So do you think it was that kind of a moment where he thinks he told her off, but he didn't really tell her off?
I think he probably told her off. I think he did. It's here's the thing. If you're gonna post that on social media, if you are going to take it to social, and he did take it to social, then you probably are gonna say something to her face as well. You know, I mean,
No,
it is.
I mean, I don't know. I think people are just so weak. Not him. I mean, I don't know him,
I
obviously.
think, yeah,
Here's what I know about him. He's talented. He works a ton.
yes,
And he's, Bravo loves him. He's like a Bravo darling.
yeah. He's
Um,
funny. He's cute. He's like charismatic, and he hates Shannon Bedore now. That's what
Yeah,
we know about him.
he hates Shannon. So yeah, I thought this was pretty gross and tasteless. I did not like it, even if you felt like she was bad to work with. So unprofessional to do it this way. And then
Yeah.
his next one said, "Well, that was quick." I guess they told him to take it down. Probably something along the lines of, "Hi, we just paid you to be a lot of money to host a show that you're ruining with your bullshit. Take it down, or you're never going to work with us again, sir. And we
Yeah.
are NBC Universal, not just some shady little housewives network. So take that shit down, you fuck." And so he did. And he said, "Well, that was quick. Anyway, don't regret it. Hope you screenshot it. Hope she suffers."
Yeah, this is not really what I imagine people look for from their TV hosts. Like if you're an employer, so this is not a great look, but
It's just gross. And then his last one is, "Well, let's just say I can't imagine what John Jansen went through. Poor guy." Well, you know what?
I literally can imagine what John Jansen went through. Just watch Orange County. I literally know exactly what he went through, how that entire relationship played out. It's actually the most easily imagined scenario of all this.
Yeah. So I did not like this. Let's see. He responds to the Hollywood Reporter. Let's see if there are screenshots. Okay. So then let's see, Juliana. I'm sorry, I got lost. I thought I was clicking on a different link. Joel Kim Booster responds to, "Y'all, isn't it your literal job to tell people in my industry apart?" Oh, okay, so this, "Use my preferred credit, Saturday Night Live's comedian friend." I don't know. I'm reading the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Talk about something while I look for this.
I don't know, but I did do I did a Google search just now. I did Joel Kim Booster. I did a Google News search, and all the headlines popping up are like, "Shannon Bedore is confused over this. Shannon Bedore is baffled. Shannon
Yeah.
Bedore doesn't get it." And it's actually kind of funny because that's so like what I imagine a Shannon Bedore news alert to be like. This just in: Shannon Bedore is confused by Nest thermostats.
I mean, it's a Nest, but it's actually, I don't see any birds. And as far as I can see, do the Nest thermostats still work if you have an empty nest, or is it only for people who want to actually be around me? I just want to know. I'm just curious.
Yeah, he said something like, "I don't apologize for what I said because it's all true, but I do regret how I said it." Like it was kind of a half-assed
Classic.
apology. I guess he got in trouble.
I
So he
apologize
came
for
out-
my delivery.
Yeah, something like that. Which, I mean, the delivery was shit. But now that I'm looking him up, one of the headlines is, "Was Joel Kim Booster actually heckled on stage?" And they're accusing him of staging a heckler, which was the last thing that got him a lot of attention. So
Wow.
so that's him. That should be a fun show. And also, just, all Shanna's behavior and stuff aside, why would Shanna be telling off production? My guess is, I have no idea. My guesses are that they fucked with her like crazy on this love show and set her up for failure over and over again, because Shanna Bedore is happiest. She makes the audience happiest when she's miserable. And
Yes.
I have no doubt that they set her up with the shadiest, worst people, and then did like pulled Bachelor moves where they just made her look stupid at every turn, and she finally lost her shit. Now I don't know who she even yelled at. I wish we got to know. I need more.
Yeah.
That's what
There was someone on
disgusting, and I
Twitter-
want more of it.
Yeah, someone on Twitter suspected it. They had put up a photo of like Joel Kim Booster with a lady, and then so someone on Twitter was like, maybe it was this lady. I have no idea. But and obviously if Shannon did something that was like wildly inappropriate, like problematic, we obviously do not stand for that. But since we don't know any details, we can only just imagine she had a meltdown over, like she wanted to have she probably wanted to like hire a taco truck for the cast, and they're like, this has already been catered, and also in Mexico that feels wrong. So it's like I can't do anything right around here. So it's probably something like that, which would be kind of funny.
Okay, so in other news, we have The Valley. The Valley is really great at keeping itself in the news. For people who really just disappeared from all public life for years, they really came back swinging, eh?
Yeah, The Valley has like been a steady font, dare I say, spigot of gossip items ever since it went off the air. They've been really doing a great job off season.
So some of the big news that started was Jax Taylor gave Brittany Cartwright full custody of Sun Cruise and claims they were never legally married in new court.
I thought he already gave her full custody, even when they were married. Did he know he had a kid until recently?
Yeah. He will only care enough to steal you away if you're like a classic car sitting in your mom's driveway. So this is from Page 6, and this was October 2nd, by the way. If people are like, this is so old, well, guess what? So am I. And also, Crappy Hour.
Take it to social.
Yeah, take it to social. No, don't take it to social. That's my worst nightmare.
We're already here.
God, I'm gaining weight, so it's really hard for me to cross my legs. But I got crossing my legs privilege when I lost weight, and I just always want to cross them now. But my legs are too fat again, and I don't care. I'm going to keep crossing them anyway, even though it hurts.
Maybe they're
I don't care.
Swollen from Vespa injuries.
God's like, wow, you crashed your Vespa. You're fatter now. Boom, karma. So karma that has nothing to do with the actual crime. Did you
realize
eat
your
Vespa?
You realize your Vespa accident was basically you just playing the OTEV competition in Big Brother, right?
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
Okay, so Page 6 is all about Jax Taylor giving Brittany Cartwright full custody. Okay, so this was a crazy story when this happened, right? Jax Taylor's given Brittany full custody. The 45-year-old represented himself. Jax should not be allowed. I know that it's the law that we as Americans have the right to defend ourselves in a court of law. Some people shouldn't, okay? Stupid people shouldn't. It's like stupid people shouldn't be allowed to have babies or represent themselves.
The last person I remember representing themselves in court was the shooter on the Long Island Railroad. And so it's like, it's that guy and Jax, which is not good company. But truthfully, I can't imagine anyone ever wanting to live up to the sentence, I represent Jax Taylor. That's not a phrase you ever want in your life, whatever the context.
Yeah, even Mark Garagos is like, fuck no, busy. So he checked a box in some paperwork that said they were never legally married. Okay, and then we get pictures of them at Christmas and pictures of them having the baby and stuff like that. Taylor also listed their LA home as their only asset, but requested to divide the property at a later time. He filed in person, and a rep for them did not immediately return a comment. So this dummy,
so he's gonna fight for the property but not for the kid. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to make any effort for the kid. The property I'll make an effort for at a later time. Yeah, it's going to take a little longer. I might need an actual lawyer for that.
That sofa was a freebie from HGTV, so I am going to need to make a claim on that one.
Yes. So then we found out later that Jax just clicked the box wrong, and he didn't mean to click that, because Brittany, as Brittany said in one of her responses to all this news, was, well, I guess paperwork is just hard for some people. We were married. And Lance Bass was like, Preacher Lance Bass was there. Pastor Bass signed the paperwork. So it's real.
He's a bastard.
Yeah. So I guess it was real. So now Jax has hired, he's refiling for divorce, and he's hiring Kevin Federline's attorney. That tells me everything. So I think he just looked up lawyer to fight Brittany, and that came up. It's just so stupid. But he just took whichever.
Maybe he looked up toxic. But I think that like Jax, first of all, I don't believe that was an accident. I think he was going to try to sneak away from this. That way he wouldn't maybe have to split assets, or wouldn't have to do any number of things. I think he was going to try to pull a fast one, right? I think, first of all, it's probably a good thing that Jax does not want to raise the kid. I think that's probably best if it's solely Brittany. But that being said, it is like, no, I can't imagine anyone who's surprised that Jax is like, I'm single again. I don't want to raise a kid. He's probably like, I don't see the point of being single, but still being, burdened with the obligations of being a parent. So yeah, you take the kid. I'm going to go spread my seed.
Yeah, and I've been reading a lot of speculation about it, and some people are like, "Oh no, that's kind of normal for one parent to just take full custody, and then he'll, like my husband did it, and he still raises our kid. You'd never know because he don't have the custody, but it still happens. So maybe that's what it is. He's just trying to make everything easier on old Brit. But we know from his past that that's not really how he operates. I mean, when they first separated, he made her move with the kid, and he stayed in the house. So if anybody's like, "Oh, Jax is just doing this to make it easier for Brittany," probably not, guys. I mean, look at the man's history and stop being fooled by Jax. For fuck's sake, just stop it. If anybody out there is like, "Oh my God, stop being mean to Jax. He's really going through a hard time." Jax is the hard time. Okay,
He is.
Everyone else is going through the Jax. So stop defending fucking Jax. I can't.
Well, and also, I mean, there's part of me that also feels like this is sadly probably a negotiation chip. Like, right? He's like, "No, you know what? You take care of Cruz. You take care of Cruz. By the way, I'd like our house, but I gave you our son." Like, yeah, I kind of feel like it's some sort of weird bartering that he's setting up. I feel so cruel to say this. It is someone's child. But it's also a little surprising to me. Okay, this may get a little dark, and I apologize, but it's my honesty, and it's an honest reaction that I had, which is that, when Jax's dad died, very sad, Jax was really rattled by it. He lost his dad, and now he has a kid, and he's like, "Yeah, see you later." So it's like, it sort of is it just sat very strangely with me. Now, of course, I'm making very deep and very serious implications about a situation I don't know the truth about, but this is just a stupid YouTube show. So that's it.
So wait, what are you saying? He lost his dad. So
he
what?
spent a lot of time talking. A lot of what has shaped him recently has been talk about how he no longer has his dad, his relationship with his dad. He talks a lot about his relationship with his dad, and so I shouldn't infer that because Britt is going to have full custody, that he's going to have no relationship with his son. But it just, to me, those two concepts sat sort of strangely together.
Right.
The idea of like giving up, on the one hand, really talking deeply and finding sympathy for talking about a relationship with your father, and then at the same time, being like, "Yeah, here you can have the kid."
Yeah. So some comments in the chat. Mike says, "I saw a rumor that Brittany couldn't even find someone to be her pretend boyfriend for the show." Because she was trying it. Wasn't she like seen around town with a Love Island person or whatever?
Really?
And,
that's too bad.
Jax is trash, from Bonnie. Jan says it's a really shitty person who voluntarily gives up their kid. Someone said if their son, well, I don't want to read that one.
I mean, the truth is this, though. If he fought for the kid, we'd all be like, "Fuck Jax. He'll be a bit terrible dad." I mean, it probably is the best. It truly is the best outcome for the kid. Like, but it also speaks to, I think, again, Jax just being the worst.
Yeah. Well, that's that one. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. There was other stuff in the valley. Let me go back to that window.
Seriously?
Yep. Seriously. And that was that Kristen Doty's dog Gibson lands an ad with Debbie Harry for Gucci.
Yes, I believe I added this link into our document because, I'm all up on it. What'd you say?
Well done, darling.
I'm really up on the important news, but yeah. So there's an ad for Gucci with Debbie Harry of Blondie, and Gibson. For some reason, they cast Gibson as Debbie Harry's dog that she's posing with. So basically, there's this image, and Debbie Harry is kind of like sitting on a nice leather. She's in the back of a luxury vehicle. I can't tell if it's like a Maybach.
I think so.
And then Gibson, sort of out of focus, is like next to her. Gibson's like, "Wait a second, is this real? Have I graduated to luxury? Will I be riding around in a Rolls Royce from now on with Debbie Harry? Is this my new life?" It's like,
anyone with the dog knows the look on his face. He sees a treat. Someone is holding a treat and telling him sit. Just sit very still. He's just like, "Oh God, there's a bone. I want that fucking bone. What do I got to do to stick that I'm sitting? Do you want me to lay down? I'll lay down. Do you want me to shake? I'll shake. I'll shake your hand. Give me your fucking hand. I'll do it. What's a treat? Give me that treat. God, please give me that treat."
So Doty has now regrammed this ad, and she's like, "Gibson for Gucci, Blondie Gucci, hashtag my baby is too cool. Oh wow, seriously, this makes me famous."
Yeah, so Kristen out there doing the stage mom thing. I think that's what you should do. Get that kid working, girl.
Listen, I mean, say what you will about Kristen, but she basically landed a Gucci ad. Okay, she Vanderpump Rules kids. She's making it.
Also, Debbie Harry, what the fuck are you doing over there? Is it fish oil? I mean, is it prayer? You look amazing.
If you want to know what she's doing, just call her.
Let me tell you, this has nothing to do with Bravo. Let me tell you, speaking of Kristen, big pests here in the Valley. I'm learning all sorts of things about the Valley lately, guys, because I'm new here. One of them is there's a mosquito epidemic. These fuckers are as big as helicopters flying around here. I was in regular Hollywood yesterday. I was outside all night, or Saturday, before I crashed my Vespa and almost died, like Ryan Reynolds in that movie. I don't think he died. Anyway, the point is, there were no mosquitoes. Here, they're everywhere. I've had my door open for 3 minutes, and they're like, they're like searchlights coming down to look for people who are running from the cops.
Well, Fauci just posted something in the New York Times saying that he just got over a West Nile virus, and it was like horrific. And then the thing is this: my friend last week posted a sign. Must have been in this area because she lives in Hollywood, and the sign said West Nile virus, like warning, West Nile virus, like spotted here, or like someone got it.
Oh,
yes, I gotta look it up.
I gotta go get them. And then my friend Jessica told me, Rondell, do you know where those bugs are coming from? I'm serious right now, not even kidding you. They're coming from money trees. From like apparently people are shipping in the money trees from overseas. And guess who just gave me a money tree? It's over there.
Oh yeah, that's so beautiful.
You're trying to kill me. Let me send me a deadly money tree. And look at me, I'm rolling around.
That money tree may have cursed you. It's like I feel like ever since I gave it to you, your house has been going like the repairs have gotten crazy. You've fallen down your hill. You may have West Nile now. I'm looking.
Crash the Vespa, crash the car. I'm a wreck. I'm a mess of a human being. I can't blame a plant. I mean, it's been going on my whole life. So I've been a mess much longer than that plant's been in this house. So let's see. In other news, everybody. So there's news in the Brahma ranking world, which is Brandy. Brandy posted the other day. I mean, you cannot write this shit. I guess I'm doing that now. After a year telling me how rich I was about to be and how strong my case against Bravo is, my lawyers have decided I don't have a case and cut ties with me. Hashtag paid. Paid off, maybe? Allegedly. Shrug. I
don't think that's how that works.
You're accusing your lawyers of being criminals. Like, you have no loyalty to anybody? These people were actually trying to help. First, you go for the network that was actually trying to help you and gave you chance after chance, even though you didn't fucking deserve one and no one else would. And now you're going for the lawyers who tried to help you against the network that helped you. Have you no loyalty? Get a job, lady.
I think we all know what crack legal team she's got to hire next. Jack Saylor representing
Jax. Jax is like, I'm here to file divorce against Brit. Wait a minute, I'm suing Bravo. Yeah, I can't help you there.
I would like to fight to have Brandy have sole custody of my son. She's like, wait,
he's just giving his son to everybody. He's like, this court is in session. Bailiff, take my son.
Brandy Glanville, it's so frustrating with her. It's like she is really the epitome of someone who can't get out of her own way. She just flames out so frequently, and she really did start to get back into Bravo's good graces. She was about to, she did film 3 girls trips. She was on 3 of them, right? And it's she
was on 2.
2, sorry. But she was on 2 either way. She was on 2. She was on something else also.
She was on Traders, Celebrity.
She was on Traders. Like she was back in the groove. Like she was the building blocks were there. She was making her way back. We don't know really what she did to Caroline Manzo. It sounds like it was really bad, but it also sounds like it was something that still she could have still moved forward from it. She could have apologized to Caroline first and foremost, and she could have made good with Caroline. But then she just has been a disaster on social media, and it's like, girl, you just don't know how to set yourself up for success.
Well, and then, during it, when this all started, and we kind of had the same opinions the whole time because we watched every episode of Beverly Hills, and you know who Brandy is after watching that shit. You know a person's track record. You see what they're like. She's a monster. She can be very entertaining and fun too, but she's just a disaster in her personal life, drugs and alcohol, allegedly. And oh, hold on.
Oh, what happened? Bueller? Uh-oh. Okay, let me try to imagine the rest of Ronnie's rant. And, we always knew exactly, what she was, and no one should be surprised whatsoever.
Sorry. A dog had the door open because it's really hot in here, and a dog poked his head in here, and I didn't want Bueller losing his shit.
A different dog?
Oh, Bueller, you're late, babe. The dog's already gone. He's like, I'm going to get that dog. The dog is gone. I need to meet this dog because it keeps stalking around my bushes and I hear it sniffing, but I don't know if it's a coyote or a dog, but it's a very cute little dog.
It was probably a coyote.
No, it's a very cute curly-headed dog. I'm going to write a note that says leash your fucking dog, and I'm going to tie it around that dog's.
Well, you know what?
That dog.
Can I say something?
And give it love every day and then send it back home.
Last week, I was walking on the sidewalk. And I'm just like walking along, and there's like two ladies and their little dogs are playing on the lawn. And then all of a sudden, one of the little dogs just comes charging at me, and it just runs at my feet. And then it's like, and I'm like, what? And the owner is like, Bailey, stop that right now, Bailey. But Bailey is so overwhelmed that Bailey then turns out it was not coming from my feet. Of course, I thought it was because, I'm always a victim. But Bailey was going to chase a vehicle, and Bailey went running right out into traffic. And it was only because Bailey had a last minute thought of like, wait, someone's mad at me, that Bailey turned around and ran back. And I was like, lady, why is your dog not on a leash right now? Put your dog on a leash if you're walking around on the sidewalk. I just don't understand people who are like this.
No.
Bailey could have died. Bailey could have died because of your mismanagement, or my ankles could have been bitten.
Yeah. Well, someone said in the chat, I've always wondered, is Bueller deaf? I imagine someone calling Bueller for a deaf dog that never comes when he's called. Bueller is losing his earring because he's old. His earring. I lost my earring. Oh, God, it's another Jeff Lewis scandal. He is losing his hearing because he's old. It's not completely gone yet. I have to clap a lot. There's a lot of clapping, and it turns out that's the way to get approval from me. If you want applause from me, start losing your hearing. I'll be all in for you. But yeah, I need to go find that dog and hug him. He looks so cute, and I just rejected him. And you know what? Nobody needs that. Whether or not we're working right now, nobody needs to be rejected. And I'm sorry to that dog. Dog, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dog.
Someone said it's a coyote with a perm.
Could be. We are in LA. So let me tell you the rest of this Brandy stuff. So, well, there's not really more, but Brandy did that. And after all that, she had a lot of people on her side. Like, well, you guys are standing up for a network that abuses people, and this is abuse. She's talking. No. She sued them because they wouldn't release the footage from Thailand, which she thinks is going to exonerate her. She said that herself. She's got no choice but to sue them for this reason. So no, I don't believe Brandy. And when she says this in her tweet, after a year of telling me how rich I was about to be, that's all you need to say, Brandy. Like, we didn't already all fucking know that already. But like, basically she did this for as rich as the lawyers told her she was going to be. Like, who says that? And who tweets that? I mean, what a dummy. Honestly,
so does this mean
good luck finding someone else to sue? And I would, any business out there, worry when you see her walk through, because she's going to fall down or she's going to have something go wrong that she can sue your ass.
Does this mean she's planting the seeds to come crawling back to Bravo and say, I was in a vulnerable place, I was scared, and these lawyers preyed on my insecurities, and I thought I was never going to work. They told me I'd never work again, and this is the only way I'd get any sort of financial support to support my children, and I never would have done it, and I was influenced, and I actually love Bravo. Keep an eye out for that. That's what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. And also, if anybody's wondering about the real character of Brandy, if we're going off this hard and someone really likes Brandy, they're getting really pissed right now. And I get it. I get it. We don't always have to agree on everything. But if you're doubting Brandy's character, just know this. Kim Richards had another meltdown of some kind. She had another relapse, and there's all these stories about her, the sisters kicking Kim out again and being done with Kim. No one's speaking to Kim. Kim relapsed. She's going through all of this. And the very first person to speak out with a clickbait title that you have to like pay to read or whatever, just clickbait, is Brandy. Brandy speaks out on Kim's relapse. So if that tells you what kind of person she is, she's literally 5 minutes after it happens trying to sell info on Kim. Gross. Fucking gross. So there you go. Good luck.
Wow. Yeah, good luck. By the way, do you see that there's this enormous hurricane that's barreling down on Florida right now? It's approaching. It's like this. It's like going to be. It's the big one. Everyone who's out there.
I've been reading about hurricanes all week, but I haven't been sure where they are. I mean, I know it's only Monday, but I mean for like the past week. So,
wow, if you're there and you're at home, evacuate, people, evacuate. It's scary. So how about this for a piece of gossip? This is where we're at right now. Who wants to hear some low rent Osmond gossip? Because it's here. It has arrived. This is the hurricane right now. I think we talked about this a bit on the Salt Lake City recap, but Brittany, I don't think I even care. I'm onboarding this Brittany and Jared Osmond gossip. I have literally nothing to say about it. Do you have something to say about it? I think I'm evacuating.
We talked about it a little on Salt Lake City, so we don't have to talk about that. Basically, he came out with a statement about Brittany and how she just used him and his fame to be on the show. He's a loser. So that's that. We'll probably talk about it more if more happens before the Salt Lake City episode. Let's talk about this. Bravo, I don't know if they've actually announced it, but people have found out that Bravo is producing a WAGS show. Wives, athletes. What does WAG stand for? I forgot.
Wives and girlfriends.
Wives and girlfriends of sports or something.
Of sports.
So they are releasing a WAGS show, and it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, which is very tricky because that's where Travis Kelce plays. And so everybody's like, oh my God, are we going to get, shots of Taylor or her stalker, Brittany Mahomes?
Yeah. I'm surprised that Bravo is the one that was able to lock this concept down. It's also going to be significantly less appealing if Taylor and Travis break up or something. Everyone's like, so many rumors are swirling about them breaking up. Like there was talk about there was a leak that a joint statement that they were going to break up, but then that never really happened, But either way, Bravo dipping into the sports world a little bit here. So let me see what's going on here. So it's no Taylor Swift, no Brittany Mahomes.
It has not officially been determined who's in it, but it may include Chiefs wide receiver McCole Hardman Jr., fiance Chariah Gordon, and Chiefs defensive tackle Chris Jones's longtime partner, Shiwana Weathersby. There's lots to figure out, including who would be part of the final cast and whether there's enough there to build a series around, or whether we're having a show, what we're doing. But I'll tell you this. Every picture in it has Travis Kelce in this article.
I know.
Like they show him in they show some of the other girls, but they're always standing in a picture of Travis Kelce. So I think that's kind of how the show's going to go. And even if he breaks up with Taylor, who cares? He's so famous on his own now because of Taylor and because he's famous on his own. I mean, he's not famous to me because I don't even know what he does. But I mean, I know what he does, but I have no interest in what he does. But he's very famous on his own. But it's going to be interesting because even if they break up, then it's going to be, now Travis is on it looking for love. I'm excited.
Yeah, the Kelce brothers are everywhere. I was at the store yesterday and I saw a cereal that said Kelce Brothers cereal. It was like Kelce Brothers cereal or Kelce Brothers edition or Kelce Brothers flavor. But either way, Travis and Jason Kelce were on the cereal box just smiling, because they're so cute. And I was like, wow, Kelce Mania has really reached a new level. And then I saw a commercial for the new Ryan Murphy the American Horror Story grotesquerie or whatever, and they're like, the usual people that are in it, and then it's like, and Travis Kelce. I was like, what? Travis Kelce? This is getting out of control now.
Yeah. But that's what it's going to be. So I'm very excited, having some cereal with Travis Kelce's face on it. Can't wait.
I don't know what a Travis Kelce flavored cereal tastes like. But again, never forget, I brought this up and I'll bring it back up again. Never forget that when Travis Kelce was on Watch What Happens Live, he was on with Ramona Singer together. And they have a photo together. That is what Bravo does to us. That's what it does to our heroes.
Yeah. Mike says in chat, all I see on Reddit is that Taylor and Travis are just a pair of big old drunks. Well, good for them living their life. Let's see.
What else is new on that front, right?
Someone is asking about Bobby. Yes, send the good vibes to Bobby. Whitney's daughter, Bobby, had some kind of asthma issue and is in the hospital. So, obviously, wishing well for her. Love that kid. It's one of my favorite characters on that show.
Hey,
and I think it's time to talk to some audience. What do you think, Banoons?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say real quickly, I looked up a headline that says, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Whitney Levitt addresses rumor about husband Connor's sexuality. Do you want to know what she has to say about that?
Yes, of course.
Well, she said, do I need to put out a sex tape or something? Trust me, we're good. Like, everything is fine. And then she also talks about how a sex tape worked really well for Kim Kardashian. So, yeah. So,
Kim Kardashian. I remember that sex tape when Kim Kardashian had to have sex in Pioneer sleeves.
It was so awkward. It's doing a sex tape while a horse shits green poop in the background.
That bonnet really made it sing, eh? So let's go ahead and move to the audience portion. If you're listening to this on audio, bye, you're gone now. We love you. We'll talk to you next time. If you want to be a part of this part, just come join us live. And thank you so much for being with us. And we will talk to you later. If you are here and you want to talk to us, Ben is about to put the link into the chat on YouTube. And that's where we're going to be able to see you and bring you up on the stage. Okay, everybody else, have a great week. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
She's a total knockout. It's Katie Manock. Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Let's get feely with Maggie Sheely.
Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
Cast a spell with Shannon Spellman. The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish. It's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh. She's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee. It's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.